Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dibs, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Today, we're looking at 5 more underrated prospects for the 2023 NFL Draft. Guys, if you love the draft, please consider subscribing. Let's go. All right, before we get into number 5, I've got an honorable mention, and that is Starling Thomas, cornerback out of UAB. Well-built cornerbacks with elite makeup speed will almost always have a spot on NFL rosters, and Starling Thomas fits that mold. It also helps when that cornerback was one of the stingiest in college football in 2022. Starling Thomas allowed only 257 yards and 22 catches on 58 targets with 9 pass breakups last season. Most importantly, he surrendered a very good QB rating when targeted of 62.9. While he might not hit everyone's height threshold at a quarter inch under 5'10", Thomas is very well put together at 194 pounds and a 6'3" wingspan. He had a very strong performance at the Shrine Bowl in Las Vegas a few weeks ago. He put on a show, and he will be a steal if he slips into that day 3 range. This is an extremely good athlete, as Thomas ranked number 59 on Bruce Feldman's freak list. While he might not be the kind of pure shutdown corner that top prospects in this draft have that skill set to become, he does offer some scheme versatility and the ability to slide inside and cover the slot. Negative-wise, Thomas has a tendency to get a little too grabby, something that will have to be coached out of him. Right now, I've got a day 3 grade on Starling Thomas. Let's watch some highlights. Coming in number 5 in my rankings is Viliami Fehoko, edge rusher out of San Jose State. Fehoko is a 6'5", 263-pound ass kicker who finished 2022 with a PFF 87.4 run defensive grade and a 90.2 pass rushing grade. This is a dude who racked up the 4th most pressures in the country with 66 last season and has some of the best play strength in the class. During the last 3 seasons, Fehoko has been one of the nation's most dominant defensive linemen. Over that span, 142 tackles, 22 sacks, 44 tackles for loss, 8 pass deflections, and 5 forced fumbles. This is a solid athlete with good power capacity derived from burst, length, and mass. He's a surprisingly twitched-up rusher for his size who can rush from multiple alignments. On top of his complete physical skill set, Fehoko has a working arsenal of pass rushing moves, implementing both power and finesse. Negative-wise, his proportional length is not elite, and he could improve his balance coming off the edge. Viliami Fehoko is a priority day 3 prospect who could potentially sneak into the top 100 following a successful combine. Right now, I've got a day 3 grade on Viliami Fehoko. Let's watch some highlights. Coming in number 4 in my rankings is Braden Daniels, offensive lineman out of Utah. Here's a guy who started for 2 years at left guard before switching to right tackle last season, where he started 11 games, and his play earned him all Pac-12 second-team honors. At only 300 pounds, he packs a lot of explosiveness into a relatively slim frame. Daniels is an impressive athlete in the trenches. He has a high football IQ. He's also someone you can depend on from a health standpoint, not counting the abbreviated COVID season where the virus ravaged the Utah linemen. Daniels started every game he played as a Ute, with 14 games played in 2019, 2021, and 2022. In pass protection, Daniels has quick feet and plays with good knee bend. This past season, Daniels gave up 0 sacks. He's a versatile lineman who has flashes of well-framed blocks and lateral agility, but his lack of play strength, questionable agility, and underdeveloped technique make him a day 3 guy at this given moment. Let's watch some highlights. Coming in number 3 in my rankings is Broderick Martin, interior defensive lineman out of Western Kentucky. Martin is a discount store version of Jordan Davis, last year's first defensive tackle drafted. He has ridiculously long arms, including an over 7-foot wingspan, and holds 337 pounds with ease. Broderick Martin has all the makings of a 2-gapper at the next level. He took a massive step forward with his performance this past fall, racking up 23 pressures and earning a 77.5 pass rushing grade per PFF. In 2022, as a 5th-year senior, Martin logged playing time in 13 games and logged a total of 500 snaps, including 18 quarterback hurries and 2 sacks on the season. This is a big-bodied rusher with very good upper body strength. He's strong and stout at the point of attack, with the measurables to occupy multiple blockers. Arguably his best skill is his extraordinary burst off the snap. Martin explodes out of his stance, demonstrating a burst upfield to slip gaps and the lateral agility once past the line to chase down the quarterback. Negative-wise, Martin doesn't show anything in the way of counters once he's stopped in his initial rush. Right now, I've got a day 3 grade on Broderick Martin. Let's watch some highlights. Next up, let's talk about Moro Ojomo, interior defensive lineman out of Texas. Ojomo is one of the most NFL-ready run defenders in the entire draft class. He can get up and down the line of scrimmage with ease, as well as 2-gap when left one-on-one. Ojomo possesses an ideal build to play the run with a low center of gravity at 6'2", but long arms to keep blockers at bay. It's why he earned the 4th highest run defensive grade in the country among defensive tackles last season, despite being under 300 pounds. He's a well-coached, polished player who has also experienced lining up as defensive end. Quick reaction times to the ball being snapped give him a jump on his opponents and will allow him to shoot through gaps and create disruption. Ojomo gets good extension with his arms, locates the football, and does a really good job of keeping his shoulders square while he flows toward the play. Negative-wise, he's on the small side for a pro defensive lineman. He's going to have to win at the next level with his quickness, and he's the type who's going to have to collapse the pocket with a brutal bull rush. Right now, I've got a rounds 3 through 4 grade on Moro Ojomo. Let's watch some highlights. Last but not least, let's talk about Tyler Scott, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. Scott may very well be the most underrated receiver in the draft class. If you're looking for someone with Jalen Hyatt's ability to take the top off a defense, then Tyler Scott is your guy. Tyler Scott possesses the same level of elite juice that makes Jalen Hyatt so appealing, with a reported 4.29 second 40-yard dash, a 40.5-inch vertical, and an 11-foot broad jump. Scott is one of the premier deep threats in this draft. Having game-breaking speed is one thing, but being able to control his body and throttle his tempo up and down is a gift. Scott is a lead at freezing cornerbacks where they stand, with his ability to stem and break suddenly. After the catch is where Scott also shines. He's a hard man to get hands on, as he can cut on a dime and change directions without losing any speed he has built up. Negative-wise, Scott struggles to play through contact, and he needs to improve his ability against press man coverage. Right now, I've got a day 2 grade on Tyler Scott. Let's watch some highlights. So those are 6 more underrated prospects in the 2023 NFL Draft. Do you agree or disagree with my guys? Let me know down in that comment section below. Guys, this is part 5 of my underrated prospect series. For the other 4 videos, look down below, check them out, let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. If you love the NFL Draft, please consider subscribing. Stay awesome, everyone.